Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So today I'll be reviewing our 2-0 defeat against Wolves last night. Another poor and frustrating performance from us. And it really is getting to the stage, well now only with one game left, you just want the season to end. It's been very, very poor apart from one game against Bournemouth which we won. It's been very poor since the season resumed. Overall, after it's now 7 defeats in a row, but after our previous 6, you're thinking maybe sort of in the last 2 we can get something, put a little bit of pride, get a little positivity and hope back among the fan base, that kind of thing. But it was unfortunately same old, same old. And, added to the fact that we've got quite a few injury problems now and a suspension and that kind of thing. Our squad's looking very thin, to be honest. The bench was quite weak again, but there's the youth that the fans are calling for on there. But again, it's sort of the same substitutions and strange ones again. And yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. Definitely, once the last game of the season against Tottenham is over, there's a lot of sort of things to look back on and review, and definitely a lot of changes are needed to improve the squad going into next season. So obviously going into it, Wolves still have something to play for. Obviously we're just waiting for the season to end, but Wolves have something to play for. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. And to be honest, we actually started the better of the teams. We dealt with Traore quite well. Obviously with Mitchell starting his first game for the club and in the Premier League. It was always going to be difficult, and Sloop doubled up with him and made it difficult for Traore to use his speed to just drive towards the line and get a crossing, which he's so good at. They made him even play back, or he had to cut inside or make it as difficult as possible for him to get the crossing. And yeah, I just thought we dealt with Jimenez quite well for the first few minutes. And then we had sort of the best chance of the game in the first half with Jeffrey Sloop. Nice ball through by McCarthy, or I think it was Zaha, and a finish just went past the post. But again, if that goes in, it's a different game for sure. But unfortunately, in the little chances we get at the moment, we're not putting them away. As well, we got unfortunately another injury. Mamadou Sakho looked like he pulled his hamstring, but maybe it did disrupt our rhythm because I thought Sakho actually started the game quite strong. But then it was a strange substitution from Hodgsons to replace Sakho. He brought on Kouyate, midfielder, and put him in the centre back, even though he had Martin Kelly on the bench, who's played centre back for us, alongside like Dan and Cahill a few times. So it seems strange. Kouyate's only gone in there like when a centre back's been injured, like during the game, and we've had other centre backs injured, so we've had to put him in there in sort of that opportunity or that situation. We didn't need to put him in there. Kelly could have gone in there, but Hodgson decided to put him in at centre back. I think maybe because of sort of the power of Jimenez up front for Wolves, maybe that was the decision or the reason behind it. But anyway, that just seemed strange. Yeah, it was a pretty sort of poor first half from both sides. Wolves were sort of struggling to get going a little bit, but we all know that this season, Wolves have been better in the second half. But then unfortunately you want to hold out till just half time, sort of regroup, that kind of thing. And then Wolves were attacking. There was a chance Townsend should have just cleared it, hit it upfield, decided to try and pass it to Sloop, ended up playing it behind him. Then of course people were out of position. Then a lovely ball into the box by Martinho, took 2 of our players out, then squared across for Podence to score his first goal for Wolves. That was so frustrating. One, obviously, that was before half time, and 2, another defensive mistake. And that's just been happening too regularly since season resumption. Going into when the season was suspended, we were up there in the top 3, 4 for goals conceded. And now we're just sliding down the league and that. And it is just frustrating. So anyway, you're hoping we were sort of going to come out in the second half and maybe go for it a little bit more now we've gone behind, but the tactics had just looked so poor. We weren't really pressuring Wolves. We were putting sometimes all 11 players behind the ball, and it just seemed strange for it, considering we were 1-0 down. Hodgsons spoken before the game about he wants us to get out of this run before the season ends, and to be only 1-0 down and not being put any pressure on Wolves, it just doesn't seem to make any sense. And the second goal, unfortunately, the young Tyrick Mitchell made an error for that. I feel as well with Jeffrey Slip, maybe it was tiredness because it was his first start, since December. They both sort of got sucked into Traore, left a gap in between them. Traore just used his strength and pace to get through. Nice ball across, and then I think our defenders were just ball watching. Jimenez miskicked it and it rolled then to Johnny, who did a little sort of shimmy away and then put it in the far corner, and Guaita could only watch it go into the net. Then after that, it was basically like a training game. Wolves were just passing it around, trying to get another goal or two. We were just happy to sort of sit in there, try and get the ball in the counter attack, which wasn't really working. And yeah, it was very hard to watch. As a Palace fan, it wasn't particularly great. And yeah, again, sort of questions to be asked, about Hodgson, about the sort of tactics, the way he's set up, the substitutions again. Our owner, Steve Parish, was there at Molyneux last night. So, he's there watching, and surely that's got to be alarm bells ringing for him. If it wasn't before, but certainly last night. It's not getting any better, it's getting worse. And yeah, certainly a lot of stuff has got to happen during, the small time frame that there is from this season into next season. We've only really got August to try and really improve the squad. And yeah, we go from there. But it was just poor. There was no attacking threat in the second half. To be honest, there wasn't really any fight or desire from the Palace players to even try and go forward, or even like put in a good challenge in, or pressure Wolves at all. And it just felt like there was a lack of effort. It was the same. There was no like passing around trying to get forward. It was always just let's just boot up and try and get Ayew on it. And Ayew isn't exactly the tallest. And when you're against someone like Connor Cody and Willy Bolly in the Wolves defence, you're not gonna win much headers unless you're quite tall and physical and strong, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, yeah, Ayew is strong. He sometimes hold-up play is very good, but against those type of defenders, no, that's not the way you play. And, it was poor as well. Even when Zaha got the ball, there wasn't really any help up there for him. And he struggled a lot, it was either backwards or sideways. And, yeah, it just wasn't great again. And yeah, as I said at the start of this video, it's the season the season ending couldn't come quicker for us. Hopefully, against Tottenham, we don't get thumped. But I don't think we're going to get anything out of the game. It hurts to say that. I know against those type of teams, as a sort of club the size of Palace, if you get anything out of the game, it's a bonus. But now you sort of go to those type of games, you feel, oh well, we do well not to lose 2-3-0. And that's unfortunately reality at the moment. I can see obviously during the game and post match in his interview, you can tell Hodgson is frustrated. But at the end of the day, as a Palace fan, you're looking at him and seeing what he's doing, and I don't think he's doing the right things. I think, as I've said many times since the season's resumed, I don't think his substitutions have been very good. I don't think the way he set the team up to play has been good. Yeah, there are certain players that haven't hit the heights to what they have earlier in the season, but I'm looking at Hodgson and, when we are, down 1 or 2-0 or whatever, I look at what he's doing and it just doesn't look great, what he's doing. The subs he brings on, the way he's sort of getting the team playing. I think it just really affects our attacking players. I think it affects Zaha, Townsend and Ayew with his tactics. I don't think the midfielders have done their job at all. It's just not been very good at all. And also his just lack of wanting to play youth players. You know, a lot of fans have said, look, we're not fighting for Europe anymore because the players gave up on that. We're not getting relegated, so there's not a better time to try and give youth a chance. Yes, he played Tyrick Mitchell. Yeah, he did okay. It was a hard game to come into, especially against probably one of the best wingers in the league in Traore. But, you know, he again, like, we were 2-0 down, and he brings on a defensive midfielder in Jairo Riedewald. You know, I've got nothing against Jairo Riedewald, but it's a defensive midfielder. We're 2-0 down. And, you know, I would hope, you know, we were looking to get back into the game or at least make an effort of it. But to bring on a defensive midfielder when you got, you know, 2 or 3 attacking players on the bench, you know, it just doesn't make sense. And what must you think as a young player at Palace when you see that? And, you know, we've fought to get Category 1 status for our academy so we can attract sort of the better youngsters to our academy and have fantastic facilities and everything like that. But, you know, is there going to be a chance for academy players to even get into the first team? You know, or even play? You know, you only seem to get a couple of minutes. You know, Brandon Pierrick, you know, he came on against Norwich on New Year's Day, and we haven't seen him since. You know, he played against Derby in the Cup, you know, that was it. And, you know, it's just frustrating, it really is. In terms of Mitchell, as I just mentioned, you know, obviously it was his first start. You know, a lot of Palace fans have been calling for Mitchell to play. You know, most of them thought maybe Slup or Riedewald would play left back and he wouldn't play Mitchell at all. But, you know, he gave Mitchell the start. I think he did okay. You know, as I said, it was very hard coming up against one of the best wingers in the league. And, you know, as strong as Traore is, you know, it was always going to be difficult. And as I said, the first sort of 10-15 minutes, you know, Tyrick Mitchell and Jeffrey Slup worked well together to keep Traore quiet. And it was always going to be difficult. You know, I thought, you know, he kept his head up. You know, he didn't let it drop. He tried to get forward when he could. You know, even though we weren't really showing any signs of wanting to go forward, but, you know, Mitchell tried to get forward as best as he could. Obviously, for the second goal, he was a little bit at fault of it, him and Slup, for the way, you know, he just easily let Traore go through them. But, you know, I thought he did okay. You know, it was a very tough game to come into with the form Wolves are in and the form we were in, and, you know, Wolves having something to play for and we not having anything to play for. But yeah, I think he did okay, and hopefully that it doesn't dishearten him, and hopefully Hodgson doesn't just take him out of the team against Spurs. Hopefully we'll see him again. But yeah, he did okay. But yeah, another frustrating day at the office for us. Let's just get the Tottenham game out of the way on Sunday, and let's see what happens. There's definitely big changes needed for our squad. Some certain players need to go, and younger, fresher faces need to come into the squad. Hopefully some of our academy players can come into the squad and show the fight, passion and desire that we lack at the moment. And, you know, there's only a few players I could really say that I want at the club next season. Unfortunately as well, in regard to Zaha, I don't think he's going to be at the club next season. You know, there's nothing against Zaha, but I think for him and what he's come out and said sort of at the beginning of the season, I think, you know, he wants a change and he wants to, you know, have a taste of European football. You know, and unfortunately he's not going to get that with Palace. So I think he's gonna go. You know, I don't think we're going to get as much as Parish wants for him. You know, where it was 80 million, I don't think we're going to be able, especially with all this COVID going on, we're not going to get that for him. So it's going to be significantly reduced transfer fee for him. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be at the club next season. But I think definitely hopefully we've been looking at replacements for him. And, you know, let's see. But it's definitely going to be a long old season next season for us if we don't improve the squad at all. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If any Palace fans stumble across this video, what did you think of our performance last night? Do you agree with what I've said? And do you think Hodgson should stay, or do you think he's going to be kept on? If any Wolves fans stumble across this video, what do you think of your season so far? Obviously, Europa League football. For next season, do you think you can potentially win the competition when Europa League starts again in August? And do you think you need to improve your squad for next season? And do you think you can keep players like Jimenez and Traore? As I said, guys, thank you for watching. My next video will be after the Tottenham game, which will be out on a Monday or a Tuesday, and that'll be the end of the season then. Please like and subscribe, and take care.